All right, black and white sports supporters. Well, let's talk about Unrivaled. Oh my goodness. I made a point to not make an Unrivaled ratings video until the Monday ratings came out. Now, why did I do that? Well, I did it because I wanted to make sure that we saw whether or not
the shocking figures lit up national television, a reality so harsh it froze entire locker rooms in silence. Caitlin Clark, the symbol of basketball's next era, didn't speak a single word on NBC, yet her presence alone exposed a crushing financial truth for competing leagues, casting an unforgiving spotlight on their fragile systems. Breanna Stewart reacted immediately, a heated response to the undeniable evidence that player activism was draining audiences, putting careers at risk, and revealing a dark future for these so-called experimental sports projects. This wasn't just criticism, it was a blunt, unforgiving display of consequences, and Stewart's anger felt like a public eruption aimed either at the messenger or at the reflection showing a painful reality.
how little fans they had to actually hemorrhage off. Now, in case you don't remember, this was just 7 days ago. All right, a 48% increase over 2025. $40 million in league revenue in its second season. And I was like, interesting. And what made that interesting is, well, the media rights deal from TNT is $16.667 million of that. They signed a 6-year contract, 3 years, and then
the Unrivaled League, once promoted as a rising success story, is now suffering its most severe ratings collapse on record. This historic downfall isn't just a small decline. It signals a complete rejection by viewers, pointing to a deep structural problem far beyond normal seasonal changes. The league's core is beginning to fracture, revealing a massive gap between the dreams of its creators and the brutal reality of audience interest, raising real doubts about its future survival. This dark reality now hangs over every single player.
Is $16.667 million of that. They signed a 6-year contract, 3 years, and then another 3-year option if TNT chooses to pick that option back up. Which I can tell you right now, as it stands, they're not going to do that. I mean, in 2027, it would be a miracle if somehow, some way, this league is not doomed, if it's not done for. And this $40 million revenue is not basketball general.
Friday's broadcast ratings for Unrivaled were disastrous, with matchups like Phantom versus Vinyl and missed against Rose drawing. Only around 30,000 viewers in the critical 18 to 49 demographic on TNT. A simulcast on True TV for the same game added just 20,000 more, showing a total failure to generate widespread interest. These numbers ranked the league in unbelievable 31st, 25th, and 29th across cable listings. A complete catastrophe. This was only the first tremor before the real earthquake arrived.
Is not doomed if it's not done for. And this $40 million revenue is not basketball generated. This is investor generated. Well, at some point, investors want returns. They want to see what was generated. So let's just jump into this. This is Friday, okay? Last Friday. This is prior to Breanna Stewart. Right here, the Phantom versus Vinyl, TNT, did 30,000 viewers.
The weekend offered no relief, only more proof of the league's fading relevance. Saturday's Lunar Alps versus Breeze game pulled in another week 30,000 viewers, placing it at 133rd in cable rankings. The high against Lace's matchup did even worse, dropping to just 20,000 viewers and a painful 67th position. These results indicate total viewership fell below 100,000, possibly near 80,000, a truly alarming and unsustainable number for any professional league trying to grow.
Ranked. Now, if you want to try to figure out total viewership, I went back and looked at last year's. That's going to be roughly 4 times what's showed in the 18 to 49 demographic. You may be staring at a rating right here that's like down under 100,000, like 80,000 viewers. Oh, but wait, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Let me take you back over the weekend. Right, Breonna Stewart explains her abolish ICE sign.
The reality that Caitlin Clark's success silently exposes stands in sharp contrast to the claims of Unrivaled's so-called meteoric rise. Just 7 days earlier, the league proudly announced a 48% increase over last year, along with a reported $40 million in revenue in its second season. That impressive growth now feels empty, overshadowed by the dramatic drop in viewership, raising serious doubts about where that money is truly coming from and whether it can last. The numbers simply don't reflect a healthy, growing league.
Let me take you back over the weekend. Right, Breonna Stewart explains her abolish ICE sign. She came out holding this sign right here, abolish ICE. I made a video on that, and I triggered some of the retards that were subscribed to this channel, and I waved at them as they went right off into the sunset. The next day I replaced every one of them with a follow-up video. All those subs came back. Not those people, but, people with common sense came back. Blew right past them. So I got
a deeper look at that $40 million revenue figure uncovers a critical, nearly overlooked detail. It isn't being made through basketball. This large sum comes mainly from investors, an important difference that reveals the league's real financial weakness. Investors eventually expect returns on their money, not long-term charity, which means this model cannot survive without real audience support and natural growth. The reality is the league isn't truly sustaining itself through the sport.
30th in the total rank. This was on TNT, folks. And then you got down to the Laces versus the Briefs. This was on TNT, not on True TV. It registered an NA. You see this, a .02 or below. Total rank, NA. Didn't even rank. On the cable ratings.
The media rights deal with TNT, valued at just $16.667 million over 6 years, further exposes the league's fragile position. While it may sound significant to casual observers, in the ruthless world of sports television, it barely even registers compared to major leagues. This tiny amount highlights the network's limited investment and lack of real commitment, a clear signal of Unrivaled's low market value, and a harsh reality that helped fuel Breonna Stewart's frustration.
Regular sports fans don't want to see the protesting in a league that had, and look, that just goes to show you did that, and as far as we know, only like 10,000 fans decided to drop out. Only like 10,000 fans said, nah, I'm going to quit. That shows you how few there were to lose. That's quite the indictment. Man, these players better sign that CBA. That's all.
The growing risk of TNT walking away from its contract in 2027 now hangs like a dark cloud over Unrivaled's future. With the current terrible ratings, it's almost certain they won't exercise the option That would mean losing their main broadcast partner, a devastating blow that could effectively end the entire project. It's hard to believe the league even lasts that long. A brutal financial reality that no level of investor funding can hide forever. The financial instability goes even deeper. With the upcoming Warner Brothers sale, this massive corporate change could see Unrivaled removed completely from HBO Max, its primary streaming home, wiping out yet another critical path to visibility. Losing a major streaming platform would be fatal, cutting off a lifeline that, while weak, still provided some exposure. The league is now facing an existential crisis on every front. Then came the moment that sparked public outrage. Breanna Stewart's controversial "Abolish IC" sign displayed openly during a public appearance. Her message about supporting families and communities instead of promoting fear and violence was viewed by many as a poorly timed political statement, clashing directly with the league's need to attract a wide and diverse fan base. That single act triggered a massive backlash and, for many, became the point of no return. The response to Stewart's sign was instant and emotional. Many fans reacted with anger, seeing the message as an attack on law, enforcement, and national security, leading to a loud and aggressive reaction. This type of activism, regardless of intention, pushed away a large portion of an already limited audience, resulting in a clear wave of fans who simply wanted basketball, not politics. The fallout was immediate and severe. The host on this channel directly challenged Stewart's actions, pointing out the double standards and perceived hypocrisy in her statement while ignoring other serious social problems. That criticism connected with many viewers who felt the league had lost touch, increasing the backlash and even causing a temporary drop in subscribers, which was later recovered by rational followers, reflecting the wider mood. The most damaging result of Stewart's statement arrived with Monday's ratings, even with a slight rise to 50,000 viewers. For the Lunar Owls vs. Hive game on TNT, it still ranked a miserable 30th overall. Even more damaging was the Laces vs. Breeze game, also on TNT. It recorded an NA rating, failing to appear in the cable rankings at all. Total viewership virtually vanished, a clear and undeniable impact following the Abolish IC controversy. An NA rating for a TNT broadcast is an unheard of embarrassment, showing the game failed to attract any meaningful audience. It's a brutal visual of a league on life support, as analysts described, losing what little viewership it had left. Breanna Stewart's frustration likely comes from seeing this direct evidence, linking her actions to the league's rapid decline, a truth that's difficult to face. The harsh reality is that players who saw Unrivaled as a backup option to traditional leagues are now watching that safety net collapse in real time. They are, in effect, protesting their own future into failure, a self-inflicted cycle that puts their careers at risk. This situation proves that many players fail to understand the fragile economics of niche sports and the delicate balance needed to keep fans engaged. Adding to Unrivaled's problems is the absence of major names like Angel and Sabrina, who competed last year but have now chosen different paths. Their exit is a strong signal of internal instability and declining appeal even among stars. Their departure strips Unrivaled of much needed talent and exposure, accelerating its weekly downfall, a painful sight for remaining fans. The contrast highlighted by Clark's success is the massive gap between Unrivaled's $16 million media deal and the WNBA's massive $200 million plus agreement. This difference isn't just about two leagues. It's a brutal measure of value, market reach, and, most importantly, fan base. It shows how much stronger and more secure the WNBA truly is, making Unrivaled's financial struggles look even more desperate. Perhaps the most revealing detail is that losing just 10,000 viewers after the controversy was seen as catastrophic, not because 10,000 is a huge number, but because it exposes how tiny the fan base was to begin with. It shows an incredibly thin margin for error and a serious lack of broad appeal, proving the league was always one mistake away from collapse. In the end, the players' ongoing demands for revenue sharing and collective bargaining become impossible to justify. Against these brutal financial realities, their negotiating power is weakened by terrible performance and dependence on investors. This situation demands a full rethink of strategy, a painful adjustment that may be the only way to survive in professional basketball. The truth revealed and amplified by Caitlin Clark's rise is simple but harsh, unchecked activism and a disconnect from fans who destroy a league regardless of how much money was invested. Breanna Stewart's anger reflects emotion, but the facts remain. Players must now face the financial crisis, rethink their demands, and engage seriously with the business side of the sport or risk complete collapse.